Hello, how are you? Welcome back to the studio. Thought tonight we'd have a little fun and paint a painting of some paints. It's kind of fun, just some old paints all jumbled all around. We're just going to jump right in. I've got my drawing here. This is totally just for fun. We're going to see what we can do with it. I'm going to start by trying to make a nice watery gray color for us. We've got a lot of silver, or quite a bit of silver on here, and if we can get a nice tone of gray in here, that'll really help us out, and we'll put that on there and that will really get us going. So I'm just making a really watery gray, and I'm going to come back in and every place that there's a little gray, the top of our watercolor tubes, I'm going to drop some water. And this is supposed to be a fun painting. I've done a couple of these before. They're always really well accepted, and they're really fun to paint. So we're just going to have a lot of fun with this tonight. I'm just going to put this on real quick. I'm not even trying to necessarily be super careful with it. So we're going to come back and do some other stuff with it too. Let's see. We get to decide on this. The fun part is deciding what colors you have in your tubes. We'll put a couple of basic ones on there. We might make up some of our own. Who knows what we're going to do, but just want to lay on some basic. This is just metal that we're putting on here. You see some of the tubes on here are a little beat up and a little bent and a little twisted, and some are in pretty good shape. I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to start. I'm just going to mix up. I'm going to use it pretty strong out of the tube once I get going there. Oh, I missed a little gray right there. I'll come back and grab that. But my first color here is going to be lemon yellow. Alright, and now I'm going to do a green. Let's see, I think I'm going to paint the bottom of this one green, and we don't have to stick to whatever the tube says, or whatever the picture says is in the tube. Doesn't really matter for our fun painting. And we don't even have to do it. We don't have to do the color scheme right. We don't have to do anything right. We just have to paint it and have fun with it. And in the end, we'll draw some labels on here and just have some fun with this one. This is going to be a good one. I've done 2 or 3 or 4 of these, and I hang them up in my office, and people that come by go, "Oh, that's such a great idea. I don't know why more people don't paint stuff like that." Okay, let's see. I got some kind of red here. It's a really pinky red. I think this one right next to that green ought to be that nice color red. Oops, we bled into there a little bit. That's okay. What we're going to do after we get done with this, we're going to go back in and we're going to make our own labels on these. I got a lot of this red that I use here. Really gets a lot of red on things. Alright, let's see what color this one is. Kind of a magenta here. Let's see, this one here I think is magenta. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to paint this one with this whole thing here. That's this color. Right around that cap. There we go. Probably could use a little bigger brush and get this done a little faster. It's alright. Speed isn't always the issue. If you're painting watercolors just to get done, I think you're kind of missing the point. Watercolors are something, well, you can paint them quickly if you want, but you should paint them at whatever pace you paint them at so that you have fun while you're painting them, and that really should be the point. I don't paint overly quick. Sometimes I have trouble where my paint starts to dry on me because it takes a little too long, but I don't worry about it too much because I enjoy it so much, and sometimes when that paint sticks like that, then that's some of the best things that happen. Let's see, I'm going to use a little bit of this phthalo blue. I think I should probably get on here somewhere. I'm going to put that in, drop that in right here. I get a little run, not going to worry about it. Actually, kind of thought that gray was dry, but it's okay. We're just doing it for fun. Painting, maybe when you're done, you hang it up in your office when people come by and take a look at it. You can tell them, hey, you saw a video, guy was doing this, it's kind of a neat idea. I decided to do it myself. Alright, I got one yellow on there. I'm going to put in some gamboge on this one. Blues and yellows go well together, so I'm going to keep those together. Right there. And that tube looks like it probably goes down like that. Let's see, I've got a Viridian here. Nice bright color. That can be right here. Let's see, I'm going to paint this part of this tube. Right like that. There it goes. The nice thing about painting paint tubes is the day after you buy them, they get all a little crinkled up and smashed up, and they're never the right shape again. So that if they don't look exactly right on here, nobody can tell you it's exactly wrong, because that might actually be the way your paint tubes end up. I put mine in a big jar. I used to put them in a box. The box worked out pretty well, but the jar is clear, and I don't have too many. Maybe a dozen, a couple dozen, I don't know. Something like that. But I can turn the jar around and I can see exactly what's in there. And that seems to help quite a bit when I'm trying to figure out what I want. Let's see. This is my umber. I'm going to put some umber right here. And you see, we just keep going with this. There you go. That tube is nice and round. Look at that. The hard part about jumping around like this, if you're like me, I don't have the steadiest hands in the world. I always end up putting my hand on the other side of this. Okay, so here's my umber, and this one goes down to here. I actually want to put another ring. I don't have it drawn on, but I think it would look nice. Put another ring of umber in here somewhere. There we go. That's pretty nice. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, ultramarine blue. We can't forget that. Everybody's got ultramarine blue in their kit somewhere. That could probably go right onto this one. Right about there. Mine doesn't seem to be that strong. There we go. Maybe it just wasn't wet. Alright, do we have any tubes that are unpainted right now? So I got Windsor green, I get this, I don't know what this red is. This is a little redder red. Maybe I'll mix some of these together. An orange, how about an orange? I don't have an orange yet. Now I've got an orange. I think, it looks like I got a tube back here that I haven't done anything with. I'm going to put an orange on that one. And let's see, I got so many tubes drawn on here I can't tell which is which anymore. I'm actually going to put orange on this one over here too. Let's see, I'm going to brighten this up a little bit. That's good. There we go. I'll put my orange right on this one. So I'm trying out a new configuration in the studio tonight. Actually standing up as I'm painting. I've raised the level of my board and the camera, and everything has gone up. So somebody drop me a line and let me know if it's easier to see, if it's harder to see. I really would like to know so I can make some adjustments if I need to. Alright, I'm going to go back in and on a number of these caps I'm going to put a little bit of shadow on them. Let's see, over here, just where there might be a little bit. I'm kind of mixing my two blues as I do this. I don't want all my shadows to be exactly the same. Alright, let's see, this got a little bit under there, and if the shadows aren't right, if the shadows are a little off, if they're not exactly perfect, it totally doesn't matter. You can see with such a whimsical painting, the fact that you've got some shadow on there, defining a little bit of the circle of the cap is more of what's important than actually having the shadow exactly right. You know what, I'm going to put that whole thing in shadow there. I got that, I got that. That's good. I got a shadow there, I got a shadow there. Let's see, I know I had some gray that I missed. I'm going to come back and put some gray on this one that's folded over. I'll put some here. I want some on this where it's folded over. Just real quick. This one where it's folded over. I have another one, a blue one, right? I got that here. Alright, and I'm going to drop in. Well, now I'm all turned around. Now I'm going to drop in a little of this gray shadow in a couple of places. Over here, I'm trying to work quickly, because I don't want this to be such a tight painting that we lose some of the frivolity of it. It's supposed to totally just be a fun thing. Let's see, I should have a little layer there, and there maybe, something like that. Okay, so now if we can remember any kind of the greens we had, we can come in and just put in, just ever so slightly, a bit of shadowing from our greens like that. Given that we don't have a round tube anywhere, let's see, that one goes back there. phthalo blue. You know, maybe there's some shadows in there in something where it's bent. My orange, all down here. I must have kept a little blue in that brush. Don't want to do that. That phthalo blue is strong stuff. There we go. A little bit on that side. Some of our magenta, I know is that one. Let's see, up over here, I'll give a little bit. Lemon yellow. Oh man. Really have to keep that brush clean, especially when you're dealing with red. But that's okay. There it is. No big deal. Let's see, do we have some of this in here? Maybe it's not quite dry yet. Okay, I'm going to get a much bigger brush and I'm going to mix up a really light, like a taupe, a tan, something that maybe looks like our label has grayed a little bit. I'm going to just drop some of that on some of these places. Don't need it everywhere. We do want to retain some highlights. Oop, that's a little too dark. Even though it's going to dry lighter, that's probably a little darker than we wanted. Good, good, good. This is looking good over here. Alright. Get some color over there. Re-wet. If there's got a little bit of red in there, I'm not going to worry about it. When we're done, this whole mixture is just going to look like a big mash of different colors, and that's kind of what we want. Looks like I do have, I just put a drop of something on there. I did. Looks like we do have a couple of extra areas we maybe should have painted gray that we missed. I'm just going to go back in and put a couple of those. Here's one here. Let's see. When I say we, basically, I mean I missed it. You guys didn't miss it? Perfect. Perfect, perfect. That looks really good. Okay, I'm going to put you on pause for a second. I'm going to dry this and then we're going to finish it up. Okay, here we are back. Okay, I've dried it all off and I've kind of gone ahead and mixed up a little paint that we're going to use to do everything that is not a tube of paint here. I've got a little Payne's Gray and a little, I believe it's Van Dyke Brown. I want to put in here. I want a nice dark mixture. So when we put it in here, our painting, it's going to make these tubes stand out. It's going to make them jump off the page. It's going to look like they're on maybe a dark wood table or something like that. There we go. Maybe a little extra Van Dyke Brown in there. Right in the middle. Here, just have to be a little careful. Again, if it's not perfect, if you go over the edge of something, it's not the end of the world. We're just doing a kind of a whimsical painting anyways. And when your friends see it, when your neighbors see it, you show it to somebody, they're not going to look at it and go, oh, you went over that spot in just that little bit. Nah, they're going to look at it and they're going to go, that's friggin' great. I love how you did that. This is just a great little painting to draw some interest. Here we go. Like I said, this is just so much fun to paint these paintings like this because there's no right and no wrong. Let's see, I'm trying to see where I need to go here. Let's see, right up here past my lemon yellow. And you'll really be able to see all of these paints just pop right out when you do this. Let's see, I got a little bit over here, I know. There it is. Alright, and I see a little bit that I need to paint right there. Maybe I can come up a little bit on that one. Perfect. And you see how over here you put the dark in the background, it really makes it look like those tubes are really on something. They really stand out when you do that. I painted a background here, a little brown. I'm going to paint over that. I think that's going to be better. The background color, as though there's nothing there. It's watercolor, so we can really change it at will, especially right now. Oh, that's a lot better. That's much better. And I'm going to do it on this side too. There we go. I do have a tendency, if you watch my paintings, I have a tendency to get a little bit lost in the painting, and I forget exactly what part is what part. Let's see, I'm going to mix a little bit more of this, get my Payne's gray and a little bit more Van Dyke brown, a little bit of water in there. I've got another tube painted over here, but that's too far out. That's not in the center of our picture. I think we're just going to take that out of there, which means that's going to come out. Something like that. And now I can see I've got an extra spot over here I need to paint. And looks like that needs to come over that way. Did I get them all? I think I pretty much got them all the spots in there, and you can really see now, putting that dark background on makes the tubes really come off that page. So there it is. I hope you like it. If you wanted to do a little bit more detail, you could come back in and write the words green or magenta with a real fine paintbrush, something like a liner brush. I've done that before. It lets people see exactly what's on there. But that's our basic painting. I hope you like it. If you do, give me a like. Hit the thumbs up. I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. I'd love to see you back here in the studio. And that's all for now. Have a good night.